Right, guys, we are here in the final, all-Italian final between my wonderful co-host Emmy and Carlo. Carlo is on the Hydra. Emmy is on actually a red-white combination. We saw him, he was using heavy Tiger form Ira as well as heavy Tiger form Ira, heavy Tiger form Frost Tiger as well as Ira. And Emmy has chosen to mulligan there. Starts the game off with a star-blessed draw. This is the final, guys, of the pre-release tournament. Previously, we saw Carlo in round 2 playing against Green, and Emmy in round 1 playing against Ira. So a nice little display of sort of all three of the meta leaders in this little tournament here. Like I said, guys, this tournament will be open to everyone. That's a Hydra drawn off of Ancient Draw. Very nice start for Carlo, putting him in a very good position. Huge hand, and he has drawn his boss monster. So now he has to. Emmy is going to have to think about that Hydra, which will be imminent. I hope you guys have enjoyed the commentary here. I basically am doing this improvised, live as well. I'm not recording it after the fact, doing it all simultaneous with the game being played. So that is another Ancient Draw. Ancient Draw seemingly being one of the most popular cards in this pre-release tournament today. So draws, turns being passed, no board being built, both players choosing to play very slow here. And the Volcano, here we go with the blue Nexuses. Seabed, Lighthouse and Volcano are down. And a burst is laid. And a strong draw has been played. Carlo now filtering his deck to find more of the pieces. Probably looking for a Labyrinth in order to get ramps. He's dropped a Squallow, so that would indicate that he probably has some free play, well, 1-cost Manticore or Galakis in his hand, which seemed to be his sort of card of choice in this tournament so far. Choosing to play slow, he knows that Emmy needs time to build. Both players building pretty significant hand sizes, but let's see how they sort of navigate this chess match of building their board, hoping not to get too many things removed. Obviously Hydra is an imminent threat, so Emmy will want to try and get his Tiger out to have Armor Blue on board. And that is going to be a star-blessed draw, if I'm not mistaken, for free energy. Oh no, Canyon. I am mistaken. So Emmy choosing to try and basically looking to filter through his hand, I guess, trying to find the defense. It's kind of a race here, isn't it, with Carlo? Emmy will likely have sideboard options in order to assist him with the Hydra threat. But right now, I'd say Emmy is probably trying to establish Tiger as quickly as possible, and Volcanic Canyon will probably help him get there. Another strong draw from Carlo. Carlo really filtering through his deck. Right now, he's going to have a very strong hand, I think. He's filtered through 6 cards to grab probably all the cards that he needs to push this play. I imagine if he's playing, he should play Labyrinth soon, but maybe he hasn't seen it yet. But Carlo choosing to play for Kato. This card has a flash effect in which it can destroy one of his Nexuses in order to refresh it, and when on level 3 it can destroy a 5 or 6 cost on swing. Interesting choice of card. Emi has just laid down a Newman City, trying to establish some reduction for his Machine Beast. Oh, there's the Labyrinth, right? This is where Carlo will most likely try and play most of his hand. He does have a very big hand right now, due to this game being slow. Emi unfortunately hasn't been able to establish the board. I think he needs to defend against a Hydra onslaught, which we know is imminent due to the draw at the start of the match. So you can tell Carlo's considering the Hydra play here, maybe resting the Labyrinth as he doesn't have the Aberration on board. Hydra would be a very strong play here, although yeah, I should think Hydra would be a good play because Dream Bomb actually would be live from the burst there. So yeah, I believe Emi is actually trapping this Hydra attack. So he'll get the draw, and when he takes the damage, which will trigger the burst, he will have the energy, the cause to play Dream Bomb. Labyrinth obviously would be the target here with Dream Bomb if he has that set. He does it. And Emi takes the 2 damage there, putting him down to 3 life already. No burst from Emi, and for some reason Carlo has put the brakes on here. In my opinion, if that was a Dream Bomb, Emi would have burst it there and then. I think he might have got off lightly there. At the same time, Carlo in a very good position. He is at 5 life. He has a Hydra on board. Perhaps not in a rush to close this game out. Emi choosing which card to discard from his 2. Carlo's sitting fairly pretty right now. He has a fairly marginal hand, 5 cards in hand, and he has the Hydra on board. Emi playing the Elephant now. Elephant is a crazy choice in my opinion. He can. The snow bit is a good strategy. The 0 cost against Hydra, because that means no mill on destroy. But if for any reason Carlo can get underneath the Elephant's BP for the Fed swing, for example, playing a magic, using the cause to make it a level 1 on the swing, then Another Hydra. Interesting. Now this is very interesting for Carlo, because this does put him in a position where he can get underneath. He can get underneath the 10k elephant and stop it from triggering. So Emmy has chosen to take the snow bit, 0 mil. Carlo currently swinging with the level 3 Hydra, 13k. Looks like we're going to get a flash here from Emmy. He is deliberating. No block from Emmy. And he has ice shielded. That is huge. Although you would assume in this position that he would be ready to play his Aegis and get back up to free life. 2 Hydras on board, putting him on Fatal right now is very, very precarious for Emmy. But we've seen how White can stabilize in these games. It's a difficult one, but I perhaps would have chosen the elephant, depending on what I've got in my hand here. Emmy really needs to push the Frost Tiger out if he can, but he also needs to play an Aegis in order to stabilize. Emmy deliberating his move here. Another 0 cost. That is another target for Hydra. Very good anti-Hydra tech here. And the Aegis, as I expected. 5 cards in hand on Emmy's side. Emmy, I believe, has more cards than 5. So Emmy going back up to 3. Starburst draw, and will Carlo trigger to draw 2 more, which will put him in a very, very strong position in this game 1. He chooses not to pay, which is an interesting decision because he's definitely not on Fatal in this position. But he only has 5 cores available actually. The Soul Core is quite hard to see, but he has the Metal Winner Soul Core. So Emmy has passed turn. Back stable on free life. I imagine that would be an ice shield that has been set. And he'll be looking to probably block with the elephant this time. So that's a Manticore ramp 1. Another Manticore ramp 1. See, if you have 2 labyrinths down and you're ramping 2, you know, you can gain on that card, which is what makes it so powerful. It does seem on the surface like a pretty non-starter card because it's 5 or 6 cores for 6k. However, blue is quite expensive as a color in general, and having an aberration that's cheap and, you know, low cost with a lot of reduction is very helpful to get these kind of chains. Carlo paying 3, and that is a flood stream to the 0 cost. Interesting. That now forces a mill 8 with an 11 draw, regardless of which he picks. I expect he will It will probably let the Aegis die here. It would make sense so he can keep the refresh. Either way, he's milling 8 though, which is really bad. Oh yes, he's trying to decide. Yeah, he has chosen the elephant. So this is a mill 8 and then draw 3, which is incredibly powerful. A lot of good cards there, but fortunately I didn't see too much. I didn't see any tigers then, and I didn't see any ice shields. So he only has one ice shield used, one set. He might have dodged a bullet here, and the mill 8 might have put him in a position to draw into more defensive spells. Seeing none there heavily increases his odds of having them, and Emmy seems to have a very sizable hand here. By no means is he out of deep water. 2 Hydras on the board is no joke, but White Hat can do things. So sorry about the technical difficulty there. So Emmy using Inescapable Avalanche to get out of that. Emmy is actually in a fairly decent position at the moment. However, with the impending threat of Hydra, you're never in safe shape, I don't think. He really needs to establish that Tiger so he has a stalwart defensive system to deal with the Hydras. Right now he will have to pay 5 for the Tiger, which it looks like he's going to do. He's going to ascend onto that Aegis. Oh no, I am completely wrong there. He plays 6. And he has ascended into Nova. A very decent play. The play of that card allowing him to free play the Ascend. And that will put Emmy back up to 5 life. You have to love that defensive system. Emmy now in a very good spot. He has a decent sized hand. He's back at 5 life with an Ice Shield set. His main concern now will be mill. He has milled a significant amount of cards. As you can see, his drop is as big as his deck. But then another great card coming down, the Snow Bit, which will allow him to mill 0 if it is not removed by Floodstream. Carlo obviously conscious of this counterplay, and he will try and play around it if he can. Interesting position here though. I think this is a board clear with Nova. Well no, it's going to be the Hydra and Manticore are going to go. Emmy actually turning it around, bringing the OG Seaworm Nova into play. Again, there has to be the concern of Hydra next turn. So Emmy passing the turn, sitting at 5 life to 4, and 5 cards in Emmy's hand. Carlo preparing, I guess, another Hydra onslaught here. He will be forcing the mill of 8. and that is a deck count of 19 on Emmy's side. So Carlo opting to shift gears and switch to the mill strategy. So if he mills 8 here, he's in a very good position. What would be a very powerful play is if he plays a Mandala now, makes him mill 12, and then hits him. So Carlo deliberating, he's put 5 cards. No, he has taken that back. Deliberating his next move. That is a deep walker that he has just played for 2, and that will allow him to ramp 1. There is the Hydra that was bounced back to hand. He's ramped 1. He will have to rest the Nexus in order to play that. Yeah. Of course, once the Nexus has been rested, you can use the cores from the Nexus. Even if you don't have any cores, you can actually use them to play the Hydra. Not to play the Hydra, but to maintain its levels, so put a core on it at least. So Carlo trying to push through. Emmy will have to mill it. Yeah, Emmy will mill 0 for the. He'll only draw 1 card. However, with that in mind, Emmy will have to get rid of the 8 costs. I believe the best play for Emmy at this point, to avoid milling out this turn, so he's going to mill 3 and then draw, as Carlo gets to choose the order. The Volcano is milling 3 from the Aberration, destroying a opponent's spirit. So that will put Emmy to around 14 to 15 cards in deck. I think at this point, the Deep Walker is being bounced back to hand with the level 2 effect of Aegis, and that is a Dream Bomb to the Hydra, slowing down the game. I mean, in my opinion, Emmy is still in trouble, although it depends if Emmy can pivot now to aggression. He has to. Oh, a Deadly Balance. That's a very interesting choice. I think Aegis will go here though, because of Nova's ability to clear board. Manticore obviously will be getting destroyed from this. Yeah, so Aegis has been destroyed. Carlo forgetting that he had to kill his thing off in the first one, but that is a double Deadly Balance to clear board, so we're basically reset to Nexuses. 4 lives to 5. Emmy is low in cards in deck, so Emmy has to, I'm pretty sure he has to strategize and trying to take 4 damage as quickly as possible here. Emmy checking his burst, and maybe that is a Star Blast that is no longer really a good choice. Ooh, Volcanic Canyon is a bold choice, but maybe he is getting the answers as he believes that Carlo cannot finish the game next turn. Emmy has to think wisely about the spirits he plays at this point in the game, because if he plays anything too large, it will end up being a heavy mill. A lot to think about here for Emmy. Yeah. Oh, very nice. Another 0 cost. Absolutely mitigating the Hydra's abilities. That could be a game winner, honestly. Incredible tech to counteract the Hydra's mill ability. And then we have another battery ball. Emmy's new favourites. Dare say his key spirit. Question is, will Emmy aggress and try and get the win? He's got 3 attacks now. Emmy paying 4. I think that is the Evangelion version of Dustworm, I believe. Which is the dragon that, when under 3 life, is reduced cost. So yeah, Emmy looking to aggress as much as possible. Oh, an ice shield from hand. Very, very, very good from Carlo there. The ideal card for Carlo now would be a Flood Stream. That would be very, very deadly. Ooh, so you can't see that, but that is Cthulhu Shark, which is going to completely clear Emmy's board here. A devastating play, to say the least. Lighthouse been replaced. Deep Walker. Carlo ramping the calls for the aberration plays. This is a half an hour game 1, guys. Really interesting play here. Here comes Hydra. Emmy is actually in a very good position still, though. I mean, I've been wrong in this tournament already, but I don't believe Carlo can finish this game. Carlo using Raid, not even bothering to rest his card. Inescapable Avalanche, another. It's just been a staple in Emmy's strategy in this tournament. Carlo choosing to aggress now. Oh yeah, he only dealt 1 damage though, an interesting choice. But again, Hydra back to hand, it is an impending threat, so Emmy now needs to have an answer, otherwise he could be in trouble in the next turn. Oh, that is not good on Emmy's side. He has passed already. Not in a position to finish the game, not in a position to play anything. This is hard to gauge, but I think Carlo may have this on the basis of Mill. That is a burst set, so that will be most likely an Ice Shield. So Carlo is in a very strong spot now to finish. Another Hydra. I know he keeps getting it back to hand, but it's just having that impending threat is just unbelievable, really. Emmy has fought in a stalwart way to fend off this onslaught, but Carlo trying to decide how he wants to navigate this turn. I think Emmy will likely pop the ice shield ASAP. So raid. Yep. There's a dream bomb immediately. Back to hand. Like I said earlier, Emmy milled at 8 and then he probably went into a lot of magic, I think. So that's a damage taken. And that's a pass by Carlo. Emmy drawing 2. That volcanic canyon really punishing him now. It's not good to see the tiger go to the drop either. Oh, that's 2 cot. Okay, interesting. So Emmy is... Oh my goodness. Emmy is milling himself out here, to say the least. It's a very epic game, guys. We are 32 minutes into the round. Elephant has been played, so that will... Right, there is the tiger. Maybe too little too late. That does bottom deck. Emmy opting to pass here. 2 cards in Emmy's hand. We are in the danger zone now. At this point, Emmy does not have anything to bounce the Hydra. However, the Tiger is at 14k. But all it will take is a 1 cost strong draw for the Hydra to get over the Tiger, and that will be all she wrote. With raid. At this point, Carlo has played the same turn 6 turns in a row. But I think it's going to be enough here. Emmy does have a ice shield set. And that will put Emmy down to 2 life. Carlo also needs a life update. Down to 3. Sorry for the technical difficulties here. Very much enjoying this game. Been a very long grind. This is a difficult matchup for blue and difficult matchup for white, so it's an interesting battle to say the least. Emmy with 3 cards in deck. Surely the end is nigh at this point. He cannot play anything but Tiger. I think we will most likely be getting to the next game. And we are going to game 2. Alright guys, so we have 15 minutes left on the round roughly, and we are starting game 2 here. Carlo is in a strong position, winning game 1 practically by mill out. Carlo may take it down today with Hydra, no surprise there. It is probably the strongest deck in the format, and even in a control setting it has done very well today. Starbless draw to start for Emmy. Emmy's really going to have to shift his strategy into a more aggressive strategy here. I think this is going to be a very quick game too. Carlo also has the ability to turn up the heat and ask the question of Emmy. Ooh, very, very nice. Hitting the labyrinth, which is the main target. He did hit Hydra as well. When summoned triggered, that is another Star Blast for Emmy. Both players setting up early with very nice value, paying very little to establish themselves. Pollen proving again why she's one of the best cards in the format. Another ancient draw. We have seen this card a lot today. Ooh, not good hits for Emmy. He definitely wanted to see those cards onto his field. So it's a slow start for Emmy here. Definitely favourable to Carlo. Carlo already has a very good level of tempo. 2 reduction on board, and he's starting the turn with a lot of cores available. That is a Manticore. It's a Deep Walker. Carlo filling his field up. Familiar sight. Strong draw. Now he's going to try and draw into a Hydra. And then that will set him up next turn to probably try and close out the game early, I imagine. Not that it's going to be as easy as that, but sometimes it can be. Thanks for tuning in again, guys. I really appreciate it. We have around 10 minutes left on this round. Carlo is 1-0 up. We are in game 2 now. Emmy is playing a mix of red and white in this locals. Experimentation. Hydra, it's a very pretty standard Hydra build, I believe. I really like this 0 cost tech to hard counter the mill. Obviously it didn't, I mean, it paid dividends in Emmy's match, but it just stopped him from getting milled out earlier, I guess. Like, it was relentless. And this is without Frog as well, which is a scary prospect, not gonna lie. Yeah, Emmy proving resilient here. Carlo has put up a pretty lean defense, but it will be difficult for Emmy to break through in this short amount of time, as this is tournament play. Carlo would be well advised to keep a strong defense in this last 10 minutes. Try not to lose the game. It is more important than winning. Unfortunately, that's just how time rules go, but if you're playing competitively, you have to consider these things. And this is for the win of the tournament, so if you guys have any feedback on this tournament coverage, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let us know in the comments. We will be happy to do more. And yeah, that is a second labyrinth for Carlo, so he is in a very good spot now. I think there's a Manticore ramp too. Glacky, so another ramp too, so Carlo down to 2 cards in hand, but we'll Seabed Lighthouse now. So Carlo 5 spirits on board, 3 Nexuses, 1 card in hand. He is going all out. Like, defense isn't an option right now for him. He has decided, I am going to go fully offense and ask the question, with or without Hydra. Moving to the attack step now. Carlo starts with Pollen. I mean, just getting the lay of the land, just working out what he wants to block, what he wants to bounce with, and choosing to bounce early with the Dream Bomb. So he's choosing to bounce the Labyrinth. Carlo laying on the pressure with the small spirits. And we may have to take damage here. Third swing. This low to the ground aggro strategy is actually paying off for Carlo here. Within 5 minutes he is putting the pressure on white and asking the question in a different way, instead of relying on Carlo actually adapting his play here, instead of relying on big bombs, relying on small creatures. So he's swinging for the 4th damage, putting Emmy to the sword right now. Will Emmy choose to block with Snowbit? Yep, he has taken the block. So there's the mill free effect from Pollen. Unfortunately, Emmy was down to 2 cores on the Snowbit, so losing out on that draw, which may prove pivotal here. Emmy's at a high risk now of losing to Hydra next turn, if that is what Carlo has held back. Blue proving to be unrelenting in this final match. We have 5 minutes remaining, and at this point Emmy is catching up. He might be playing a free to play Nova, yep, as expected, which will put him back up to 5 life. So yeah, back up to 5 life for Emmy. It may be too little too late, but it still puts him in a good position to continue the match. So, strong draw there from Carlo. And an ancient draw now. Looks like he's trying to dig for that Hydra to try and work on finishing the game here. No hits, so they will all go to the bottom there. I mean, he's in a fairly strong spot here. However, time is not on his side. We have just a few minutes left of the round. 3 minutes. So I believe Carlo will likely win this match. That's another strong draw there. Really digging Carlo now. He has laid the burst. That may be the ice shield he needs. 2.5 minutes on the round. Emmy has to close out the game as quickly as possible. So Carlo's ramping 2 per player here, so he's essentially playing these cards for free, as they are 2 cost after their full reduction. Unbelievably, no Hydra still from Carlo. Could be a chance that he actually sided them out. Which will be something I will ask him and maybe report on the podcast. So Emmy going down to 4 life. Carlo using deadly bars to take out the Seagull. And we're going down to 3 life. And Deep Walker adding more pressure. I mean, trying to decide whether he's going to Ice Shield or not, but he has chosen not to Ice Shield and take the damage. I guess he's kind of clocked that there is no Hydra coming out. With 1 minute left of the round, though, it's looking quite like Carlo's won this tournament. An unfortunate end to the game, but it's kind of the nature of control strategies. You normally only have 1 game in this current format that we have. Emmy actually doing his best to play quickly. Starbless Draw activated. Carlo. Emmy swinging into Carlo. Carlo going down to 2 life. Unfortunately, the time is over for the round, so that is going to be a win for Carlo. Thank you for watching, guys. Carlo, you take the win there on time, buddy. Good game, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate you. We'll see you next time.